Hello there. Welcome to Cabbage Patch Soap. I'm so glad you're here. My name is Laura, and today I will be making Moon Cat Soap. The soap will be made over the course of a few days, and it is another viewer suggested design. The soap was suggested by Sandy, who wanted a black cat looking at the moon and stars. So hopefully she likes what I came up with. So here are the colors that I'll be using for the first portion of the soap. I have Orange Vibrance by Nurture Soap, Trial by Fire by Nurture Soap, and Yellow Vibrance by Nurture Soap. They are mixed together in the containers. And I will be using Black Raspberry Vanilla by Nurture Soap. You'll find a link in the description down below of all these items if you would like to try making the soap yourselves. So here is the lye water going into the oils. The oils I use are all vegan and organic. And the little containers I use for the colors are biodegradable and reusable. And I'm trying to keep the batter pretty fluid because of the design I'll be making. So here is the fragrance oil going into the oils. And now I'm going to divide this up into two separate pitchers. And this is the Trial by Fire and Orange Vibrance mixed together. And in the other pot I will be putting the Orange Vibrance mixed with Yellow Vibrance. This way the two colors, they are similar, but there's enough contrast to where you'll be able to see the design. One of the things I like about this Trial by Fire is that it doesn't tend to blend into other colors, so this design should stay very nice. I'm doing an in the pot swirl to blend the two colors. And then here I have a special mold I'll be using. It is a chip canister lined with freezer paper. And I'm just going to pour this batter in. You can see as it pours in that the more red and more orange colors do actually stay separate, so that there should be some kind of design once I unmold this. I'm going to tap out the air bubbles. And then I'll show you the soap up close. And then we'll set this aside because it needs to be firm before I can start the second part of the project. So this is going to be the sky portion of the soap. I'm making this the next day. This is going to use Mystic Blue by Nurture Soap, which is in the white containers. Starry Night by Nurture Soap, which is in the blue container. And I will also be using the Black Raspberry Vanilla by Nurture Soap. All the links for these are down below if you would like to try making this design. And the Mystic Blue looks white, but when it gets wet it has a blue opalescent type shimmer to it. It's very pretty. So I'm just going to add the lye water to the oils. And this is the same recipe that I used for the moon. And just like before, I want to keep this pretty fluid. I want to make sure I have enough time to work with it. And here's the rest of that fragrance oil going in. This has a really good black raspberry vanilla fragrance. I'm really picky about that fragrance. There are some I don't like, but this one is really nice. And then this is the Mystic Blue going in, and I'm going to hold this up so you can see the kind of opalescent blue on the top of the oil where it's sitting, so you can see how it looks when it gets wet. So when you wash with the soap you should see that really pretty shimmery blue look on the bar. And then of course I put the Starry Night in the other container. So we're starting with this Mystic Blue. I'm going to put it down at the bottom. And this just gives the cat something to sit on so he's not literally floating in the sky. And I'm going to add a little bit of blue to this and start building up some layers. I wanted this to have a little bit of an ombre effect, or at least I wanted the transition from the white to blue to be more subtle and less dramatic. And this is the black cat going in. I made this black cat out of soap dough. I have a video, if you look through my channel, there should be a video about soap dough that you can watch that shows how I made it. And then here I am just building up the blue. I'm adding more and more blue to this mystic blue to help darken it. Now here are the stars. I need to add these before this gets too full. And these stars are made out of the same soap dough as the cats, just a different color. And I'm pushing them down to be different depths. I don't want them all in a line straight across. So once I lay them in there, I push some of them down a little further than the others so that hopefully it'll have a more organic look when I cut the bars. Also, Shauna, if you're watching, this is the same clay extruder that you have that I used to make these stars. So now you know how I make them, and they're really easy to make. Now here what I'm doing is I'm just scraping out some of the blue in the middle so that the moon has a place to rest. I'd already set the moon in here earlier to see how deep I wanted it, so when I go to put it in right here, you'll see there's blue on the bottom. That's what that's from. I also had to wait for the soap to set up enough to support the weight of this moon. And I had the footage of me unwrapping the moon and you know, showing how it looked, and of course that footage disappeared, so I apologize for that. What I'm doing here is just spraying this down with rubbing alcohol so that this mystic blue will stick to it. That's why I had two different containers. I'm just going to sprinkle this on top, and what this does is it should give the moon a really pretty blue shimmer on the outside edge. You can also see on the sides where the blue has spilled out a little bit. That will have to be trimmed down later. But so far, this is how it looks. And I'm just going to finish covering this with the mystic blue. So here's the soap up close. And we're going to need to wait another day to let this set up so that we can cut it into bars. So here we are the next day. You can see the blue overhang on the sides. I was originally considering slicing it like this, standing up, but it's a little bit tall for my bar cutter. Also, the moon, because I failed to wrap it after I unmolded it, it started to firm up, and so I had to think of a better way. So what I did was, you could see me trimming the overhang off on the side there so that I could lay the soap mold or the soap loaf on its side to cut it. It was still a little bit soft, and really I probably should have at this point wrapped the moon and then let the loaf firm up a little bit, but I was really eager to see how the soap turned out and was a little bit impatient. But it starts cutting okay, but since it's so soft I have to support it, and that's why these soap bars are always experiments. If I ever make a soap design like this again, I'll know better what to do with the soap that I make beforehand. So for example, if I make another moon, I'll know that I need to wrap it like I did with the stars and help prevent them from drying out. And then here we are. You can see the first bar fell away there, and the cat came out pretty cute. It has the stars there. I'll have to clean these bars up a little bit to make them look a little better, get rid of that overhang on the side, but you can see on the end when I pick up the bars, the shimmer on the top of the moon, the blue shimmer, it came out really nice. So I'm really happy with this. I hope Sandy likes the bars, and they smell really good. And if you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a like and subscribing to my channel. It really helps me out. And please leave any suggestions down below of any designs that you'd like to see me make. I love to hear from you. And thank you again, Sandy, for this great suggestion. These soaps will be part of the Twilight collection, which is available October 1st. And thank you for watching. Have a great day.